So the kind of key drivers of innovation over history. So there's been kind of a pattern of what actually drives innovation. And in the 1930s, and actually going back further, it was very much entrepreneur driven. It was kind of, we've got the market, we've got the capital, let's go out there and do something. And it was more that charging forward with let's do something as opposed to knowing what to do. And then they would find that and move forward. In the 50s, we started to see a move, and a lot of this has to do with post-World War II because of the technology that had come out and that whole revolution. You start seeing things being driven by technology. We've got a new invention, we've got something that can do a new task, let's push that forward. Then in the 1970s, which all these are still going on, but in different degrees, they just kind of get added. In the 1970s, you start seeing marketing being the driving force. Consumers now starting to respond back. They look at analytics, trying to get surveys and reports. What do people actually want? We can give them anything, but what do they actually want? And so there's a big focus on that. But since 2000, the internet has started to spark off things which now you're seeing an acceleration as the second generation wave of the internet is really hitting. You know, we had 2 industrial revolutions, 2 information revolutions, but you're starting to see kind of social issues driving things. The future really is about collaboration, and that's a big part of what we're trying to do with the clusters in the uni, is the only way to kind of really affect, with the amount of stuff that's going on in the world at such a fast pace, it's getting harder and harder and harder to keep up. So you're trying to do something, by the time you've thought about it, put it down on paper, there's 10 people that have already brought it to market because there's just such an ease of entrance into the market. You've got crowdsourced funding with things like Kickstarter. It's something to think about. That's never been possible before. So why am I here? So the idea of I can work with big companies like I have before, but I can only do so many projects. I can only be involved in so many things. And being involved in the university, especially kind of the unique space that I'm kind of playing in, it's not about me, it's not about my projects, it's about helping to influence and push other people's projects and other people's desires and wants. So you've got this huge resource that's doing amazing stuff already. By all means, I'm not making a difference in that space. But if I can maybe affect the fact there's a few other things that wouldn't have been seen or wouldn't have been done, that multiplies the amount of impact I can have. So that's been a real thing. So with the university, we basically have silos of excellence. We have very focused research that is very, very deep in its knowledge. It's very exceptionally impressive as far as how far they've gone. And that needs to happen. But at the same time, if this department was able to liaison and talk with that department in an open discussion, is there a possibility of having different outcomes in the innovation space as opposed to only pure research? What we're trying to do is simplify the clusters based on overall topics. So we're taking a few groups out of many groups so that the outside world and the inside world of the university can interact in an easier way. And that's the challenge we have faced. So, and the driver behind this is we're driven by outcomes. We actually want to produce things and start being more effective than we have been.